money, make money, then you take money, take money, take money.
Good morning.
It's a great morning, actually. How you doing?
I guess I should say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, people of the world. I know it's
You
much
sound like
later in places.
you sound like Da Vinci. I don't know if you ever watched, dude. He's a Bitcoin guy. Wherever you are, however you are.
So I'm trying to get my Ivan on this morning. What did Ivan used to say all the time?
Oh, in the chat, what are you drinking today? Today I have black coffee, no milk, no sugar, as always. Oh, check me out though.
Oh, you got your million post tour coffee cup.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
There you
Ready.
go. So, man, had to get on the stream this morning because boy, my boy Abid made a post yesterday that went like semi-viral in the Hex community.
Did it really? I didn't hear about it. What was it?
What, it was like over 30,000 here. I'm just gonna pull it up. Let's see. Let's see. What did it say? 32,000 views. And like over almost 100 different, comments or whatnot. And they are coming from a boy's throat.
I can see why. You know, he's got the founder of another token right on prominent.
Yeah.
You know?
And me being a member of KSB TV, I got the notification and I didn't know anything about it, but I'm interested. And the reason why I'm really interested is because I know Abid pretty well. And I have never heard Abid really talk about Zen. I've really never heard him talk too much about anything other than Hex. So I'm interested to know like where his interest comes from. Like, is he doing this so that he can kind of address some of the statements that Jack has made lately? Like according to the OA, is this just like a open discussion that he wants to have? Is it a debate? Or does he have real interest in these projects that Jack has coming out?
It's Abid has always been online a lot. Always been really active on Twitter. So it was you're either on one side or the other. You're either all for it or you're just like really loud against it. So kind of I looked at it as when I first saw it, just some kind of clickbait maybe. But yeah, I'm interested to see where it's going. Maybe just to get engagement. There's so much infighting in the community about participating. Maybe he wants to just open up the discussion, and have it, on a public forum where people can actually just air out what they really have wrong with this thing.
Yeah,
because they coming at your boy hard.
They coming at him hard. I think that was the most surprising part. I mean, of course, you have some people that are like, "Hey, I love that you're being open-minded," but some people like, "Rhett, you just lost my sympathy." Like just going in. I saw a bunch of unfollows, and I'm just like, I mean, I guess I can understand, both sides, right? There's the side that says that we got into crypto for freedom of movement, escape from the hold that the government puts on you with, the inflation of the dollar. Like, I want control over my financials and I should be able to explore whatever cryptos, I want to. And then there's this side of, Hexicans that to me are being a little tribalistic in that they feel like Jack has like came in with bad intentions, looking to siphon, the community, looking to vampire attack the community to into his products. And I guess I don't all the way see it that way, just because like I was there when Jack first came into the community. I in a way I feel a little responsible because I did see him on Crypto Coffee's show. We were doing daily news at the time, right? And I was checking the Luna site a lot. And when I was on the Luna site, it would show you what Hexicans, based on how often they talk about a coin,
This is Luna Crush, people. We're not talking about Terra Luna.
Sorry. I should make that real clear. To show you like what people on Twitter had like the most activity as far as talking about a coin, and then paired with how many followers they had. So I expected Richard Hart to be at the top of the list as far as who had the most followers that were talking about Hex, but it was actually Jack, right? So I had made a post on Twitter basically saying, hey, you know, who's this dude with this huge following that has been tweeting about Hex a lot, you know? And so I invited him to come to a spaces with us and just to have, you know, open discussion. He seemed like a knowledgeable guy that had a big following, you know, and to me, he's never said anything too negative about Hex. He said negative things about Richard Hart, but he's just on his own track now. Like he's decided that this is the way I see crypto and this is where I'm going. But you know, crypto is such a small space in general, right? Like I just feel like anybody who's building in the space, as long as they don't have negative intentions, you know, we should at least be able to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, you know, there's two sides of the coin, you know. For one, being that he and that gave him some credibility coming from Google, you know, you kind of give him that extra, you know, kind of, all right, let me hear what he has to say. You know, he could add some value to this space, you know, and to not be active on Twitter at all, not to be active in crypto at all, to come and show interest in Hex. You know, I think at the time, most people invited Jack into the community because they saw the potential of him possibly bringing more attention to Hex. So I think a lot of that where it felt like we felt like they brought him into the community. So rather than him jumping on board and promoting Hex, he promotes something else. You know, I think that's where a lot of the internal like anger comes from. A lot of people saying, you know, how can you support somebody who actively is competing, you know, and then not only is he not only competing with a product, the design of the product, you know, looks so much similar and kind of the I don't want to say white paper, but the pathway that they've been building is on the same path as Hex. So yeah, you can see where someone can be angry at that, but like you said, it's freedom of movement, and a lot of people attracted to Hex came to Hex because, you know, it was a true crypto to where it was safe as far as, you know, you can operate on your own keys, you know, free from scams. So that's where the protection in that from being a maxi is you don't get exposed to things that can harm you, you know. So you can see both of those sides.
Yeah, for sure. I need to update my house. You over there looking all mansion like, where I'm sitting over here in the corner. You do have a very nice grand piano back there, sir.
Yeah, I like to go right over there sometimes or lounge on my garage couch. You know, luxurious garage you got over here, fireplace, everything.
Thanks to everyone who's commenting in the chat. My girl CC Hexing, she always has my back, always showing us some love out there in Texas.
We got D-Town.
D-Town.
I know they got lit last night.
Dugo Boo says, cheers, everyone. I got my morning. My morning cheers. So yeah, that stream should be interesting today. That's today at, I believe, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I'm just interested to see how that's gonna go, because I really don't know what Avid's stance is. I don't know if this is you know, a little bit trolling, or if there is like, you know, genuine interest in finding out what Jack is up to.
Yeah. And you know, it's, you know, coming from a space like Google, you know, it's already, you know, it's free market, you know, capitalism as far as building and finding problems and solving. And I felt like Jack came into the community, learned about the product, learned about, you know, what was good about it, and tried to build upon that. You know, this whole crypto space is like, you know, I say experiment a lot because it's kind of like, you know, trial and error, like science experiments. And you know, you always want to tweak and build upon and to find the truth. What is, you know, true crypto? I think fair crypto is kind of the advertising he uses to describe it. But yeah, you can't knock it. Now, it does show some insecurity when you're so upset about another coin. Like, if it's good, then if your product is good, why are you so upset about another product? Truthful to time will tell. So yeah, I don't think it benefits you being a maxi. I think it protects you being a maxi, but I don't think it benefits you as far as why we're here, which is to make gains.
Yeah.
And the little tech.
So I put that in the title today. So maybe we can kind of get into that a little bit. I called it a maxi holder and a poly holder, right? Because poly just means multiple. So you
Oh, you
kind
into
of
that poly?
you kind of hold a lot of different coins. What is your beliefs on maximalism versus spreading it out?
I think the more it's a scale. You don't want to be too far in any way. I think the newer you are to crypto, the more maxi you should be. You should really scale down what you're into. Um, but yeah, I think as you grow your portfolio and you have a good holding, you should. It's so early in crypto. I don't think it's ever a time to stop accumulating, but it doesn't hurt once you have a certain level of education and you know about the space and you have that insight to know about upcoming projects. The biggest opportunity is the most new opportunities. So when you're able to take advantage just by being knowledgeable, I don't see why you shouldn't, take those. And in the space we get so many. I guess we're a desired customer to where we just get opportunities thrown at us and free money thrown in your lap. And so to not participate off maximalism is kind of silly. But I don't think it's a scale. The more experience, the more leeway you have to look around and be free.
Hmm. So I'm gonna bring up your screen share because that'll kind of show you um, some of the coins that we do pay attention to.
Yeah. Well, this is my main watch list. Right now I have Maxi up. We say, benefits of being a Maxi. Now, Maxi was a good if you did participate in the lunch phase, you're not down at all. So in that aspect, it is a successful project. Now it has had some sell pressure continually for a while. It's basically following Hex. It's a derivative of Hex. So um, but you can see that's the fear that a lot of these new projects get launched and they're just cash grabs and people, and sometimes, there are good ideas and good conceptions and it just don't work out. They don't have the mechanics aren't aligned. So, yeah, Max, I want to go to my Richard Hart ecosystem watch list. Um, Same thing with the Hedron ecosystem. I think, as long as you have utility, and I think Hedron was built with the thing in mind to bring value to Hex. We have it's the derivative. What is it coming from? How are you adding value to that token? So it gives you a reason not to sell your Hex. Icosa gives you a reason not to sell your Hedron. Um, so yeah, supply sinks. I think that's the going to be the name of next, bull run. I think that's what Zen is trying to do with these NFTs. I can't hit this chart to load up, but um, I think the NFTs are basically me talking to myself.
No, you're here.
Am I off?
No, you're here. Do you not hear me anymore? Oh, I think we lost Casey, guys. Oh, poor guy. I guess I'll drop it. Well, it dropped it for him. So, yeah, that's awkward. Having a conversation by myself. But no, who's out there in the chat? Anybody still here with us? Anybody have any questions, any thoughts on maximalism or whatnot? I mean, I feel like I'm too new to crypto to be a maximalist. Actually, like I get where he's coming from as far as, you first coming in, you want to focus on one product, you want to learn as much as you can, about that. But once you've done that, it benefits you to learn more about the space in general, right? So that you can benefit off of all opportunities that come your way. I know one token that I see them take a lot of, heat sometimes, is the Texan token, right? To me, any coin or any project that is aimed at increasing awareness of the space has potential to help us all, to help Hex, to help the entire crypto space. Because you'd be surprised how many people just have no knowledge of crypto whatsoever. Me and my husband went to a car show, maybe, I don't know, like 6 months ago or something like that. And we decided just to take a little microphone out there, a little camera, and just see how many people we could get to like talk to us about crypto, like identify some cryptos. Hey, can you name 1, 2, 3 cryptos and let us know what you think about the space as a whole? And for the most part, I think we didn't get anybody who could name more than 2 cryptos. Bitcoin was kind of, the go-to answer. And then surprisingly to me, which I wasn't aware that it had grown that much popularity, was Doge. Doge, and they were calling it dog and doggy and all these other kind of things. But those were like the only 2 cryptos that were even identified, and so I say all that to say that like someone like what Rags and Crypto Heartbeat are doing with the Texan token, right? They have partnered with a nonprofit organization that has its own membership base, a membership base of people that give to the organization, right? And now they are incentivizing their already their membership to say, hey, look, if you want to give to the organization and possibly participate in this financial product, you can do it through this Texan token, right? So in my mind, that is onboarding, that is advertising to the market of non-Hexicans, of people that are non-crypto enthusiasts in general, right? So that has a place. And so like with Zen, for example, yeah, we can feel the way that we feel just about the method of which we thought it was happening. We thought that we were getting a major influencer who was completely positive about Hex coming in to shill Hex, right? Yeah. And that's not what we got. We got somebody shilling within our community a whole nother product. But if you look at it, on a different spectrum, as far as like he's advertising this as a free coin, right? Like you're paying just your gas fees. That message, that free, like it's the same thing like with workshops. When I tell somebody that I'm having a free workshop, I get 40 RSVPs. When I say that I'm having a ticket-based workshop, I sell 3 tickets. You know what I mean? That's not the narrative that Hex has. Hex is not a free coin. It requires an investment. So when you're looking at, some countries or some demographics that are scared, to relinquish their small little bit of excess money on, an investment on something that they're not sure about, this has the ability to get their attention. This is why Zen has gone so crazy in countries like China, where Hex, I'm not seeing a whole lot of activity in that region. So to me,
Hex Asians.
Yeah. To me, like, if we have the best product and we're confident in that, we shouldn't be worried about what another coin is doing, because as they're bringing more people into crypto and now they're starting to venture out, where are they going to go look? They're going to go look to see what other coins are doing well or have made that.
If you go around somebody who never had any jewelry and then you come around with some gold on, they're going to say, wow, I love your jewelry, and then they try to work hard to get the gold, but it's expensive. And then they find out about silver, which is cheaper and easier to get. You could have gold bucks to say, why are you buying that silver when you could have gold, but the silver is more accessible. When you think about crypto, in my mind, when I wanted to have the moon mission and I was thinking about what was going to take us to the next level, I'm thinking about adaptability, what's going to make, global adoption, mass adoption, what's going to get people to actually use crypto. you know. So with Hex, you know, in any other crypto, it takes an initial investment, you know, that risk up front, that you're trusting the system and putting your money up and saying, you know, I want to see if it's going to grow. But with Zen, kind of get you around to where that upfront cost, like you said, it's only gas. You know, you don't, the more Zen you want, you wait longer. So you use time as a leverage, just like Hex. You use time as a leverage to mint more Hex. You use time as a leverage to mint more Zen, but in Zen, your initial investment is the same. The competition is even across the board. Now people argue about the bots and can people, you know, but they pay the same gas. So anyone who's willing to, you know, pay for the transaction is competing fairly. So I think that's the point, getting it in people's hands. You know, the easiest way to onboard, you don't have to you can have a MetaMask and get started. You know, you don't have to worry about the process of onboarding fiat. I mean, well, you still got to onboard fiat, but I don't know, the staking, the mechanisms are so much simpler. You know, you just confirm the transaction, and you know, when you wait the time frame, you have the Zen. You know, so you know, really easy. Someone can just send you some ETH and you can get started.
Yeah, yeah. I like this comment that Brazology said. He said, to get wealthy, it's good to concentrate your wealth into something with high conviction. To keep your wealth, you spread it out several things so there isn't one point of failure. So that's basically what you were saying, you know, coming in new, you know, keeping that money focused, keeping that investment focused on something that you really believe in, that has the best return. And then, you know, from there, diversifying more so that you're less susceptible to, you know, risks.
Yeah. And I can feel the, you know, the person that says, I'm winning so hard here, why would I try and risk anything else? Like, even if I don't win to the capacity I have before, I'm good with what I'm doing here. So I'm not willing to take the risks. So that's not wrong either, you know.
Yeah.
In my mindset.
Yes, yes, yes. SoCal in the building. Y'all know it. What's going on, ENJ Gold?
Cali Rain, baby.
Like, she want to talk about what I want to talk about. All this crypto is great, but where the party at?
Yeah.
Let's go, Hex Cruise. So for those of you who don't know, which if you're on our channel, you probably know, because that's like the only thing I talk about, is our Hex Cruise coming up in April. It is a Royal Caribbean cruise going out on the Liberty of the Sea. If you didn't check out last night, I streamed with RG3 Discord Syndicate. He will be on the cruise. We had a great conversation talking about, you know, what we have in store for that. Trying to get a lot of our different content creators to participate in a different excursion where you can have the opportunity to, you know, hang out one-on-one or in a fun social type of environment with the personalities from the internets.
Yeah, you know, got the Hexi Awards getting announced too. You know, I wonder how those are going to come out.
And I keep forgetting to talk about that. I've been on like 3 different streams, and not one have I mentioned the Hexi Awards. I need to get my post game team on that trip. Absolutely, hit me up, man. And so that's what I was saying. Like, I had somebody in the community reach out to me and was like, "Hey, I love the idea of the Hex Cruise, but you know, I'm content creator. I'm a little bit scared of all the 3-letter entity FUD going on. I mean, like, I don't even like mentioning it or whatever. You know, is that gonna be an issue? All that kind of stuff." And if I'm just giving you my opinion, I don't work. I'm not a lawyer. I don't, you know, I'm not in that. I don't think that we have anything to worry about. Like, if you believe in Hex, then you understand the Howey test. You understand that it's not a security, right? But there are people who bought the top. And when people buy the top, they get angry. And then they start screaming scam again, right? Like, and that is what has happened. And because of that, some of those people have went and voiced their concerns or their issues to the SEC. And the SEC has an obligation to look out for people, right? To go and investigate whether or not there is some wrongdoing going on. And for the content creators that are getting served, they're looking to see, has RH paid anybody to stream? And I can assure you that I haven't been paid, that no one that I know has ever been paid. To my knowledge, Richard Hart doesn't even pay for dinner. Like, he goes out with a Hexagon and then he's like, hey, here's the check. You know what I mean? So like, we are covered. And maybe that's why, you know, he's always taken that stance, because he's been well aware of what you can do and what you can't do, you know? And so everyone that has been served, like, it was just an inquiry. It was to give us information back, and if not, they seem to have just moved on. Now, whether or not it's gonna continue to be that way, we'll keep you updated as the months go by. But right now, nobody is in any, you know, serious legal issues or anything like that. They're just, it's just due process. They're just, you know, trying to see what they can figure out, but there's really nothing to figure out. So I wouldn't really be worried about it. But to me, I'm always going to wear my Hex. I'm always going to be Black Hexican. I'm always going to support the Hex brand because it's what brought me into crypto. But the crypto space is growing. We as Hexicans are growing because of post chain. Like, that's a layer one, right? So if that's the case and we want this layer one to be successful, then we are going to continue to grow and to bring in NFT projects and bring in gaming protocols like post game. I'm gonna have to check you guys out and see what all you guys got going on, and all different type of, you know, people that are in the metaverse and all these different things. So don't look at this as just a Hex cruise. Look at this as, I want to grow the crypto space, right? And if I come on this cruise, I know that I'm going to be able to have conversation and network with people who are also interested and enthusiastic about growing the crypto space. You know what I mean? So, you know, call it what you want, call it crypto cruise, call it Hex cruise. We're about to go out there and have a great time in the Bahamas and, you know, shake some ass.
More than just the people on board, though, it's starting to take it international. You know, we go to all these different places and these stops. You know, you're taking, you know, Hex outside the borders. It's not an American coin, but if you look at the holders, it's basically, you know, US and UK. But, you know, showing these people who the locals probably need a financial way to get their own freedom, you know. So and yeah, the people on board, you know, there's tons of downtime and, you know, Hexicans get together. People just like to chop it up, you know, and it's a lot of game in this community, a lot of, even in outside of crypto, just the different industries people are in. Word is getting out. You know, the fact that Hex is this big of a deal and that people are screaming scam, like, why do you care so much? You know, I thought it was a scam, you know. So I like all the noise. I'm actually getting kind of bullish around this time, to where, you know, you're seeing all this stuff fall from the last, you know, run, and, you know, Hex still standing strong to me, you know, still, you know, pushing 3 cents. Well, let's go.
Yeah, I can't keep rushing by this. I just realized, like, how much Dallas stuff you have on today.
Yeah, a little bit of the.
You're looking like a super fanboy right now. I mean, Christmas is like for sure in the rear view.
Stars are everywhere, though. Stars don't stop.
Out of control. I'll see you at the Super Bowl if y'all make it.
She done jinxed it. Definitely not going to the Super Bowl.
I know CZ would like to see that happen. Now, I really wouldn't mind as long as Kansas City makes it. I wouldn't mind beating y'all in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a win-win for me. You know, I became a Chiefs fan just because they got KC on all the gear. And, you know, no matter who won that game yesterday, I was going to be excited. You know, I love Tom Brady. And even though it might have been his last rodeo. But, yeah, look at you. Look at you, man.
You know, I have never been a Brady fan. You know, I have never been. I mean, you got to acknowledge that he's the GOAT, that he achieved greatness. But yeah, I'm never gonna just root for him to do it again. He's done it enough.
Yeah, man. My boy made it boring in them 2000 somethings.
Yeah. So what is your feeling, you know, while we're just shooting the shit about cryptos in general, What is your feeling about texting? I'm gonna bring my screen back up because I think Rags posted a little update. Let me see. Yes. Apparently 600 billion just staked for 22 years. Circulating supply is now decreased by 40%. And he is asking, whether or not more will be coming in the next few days. So definitely a huge supply, but impressive that there's already 2,400 stakers in their system. Half the supply, almost, a third at least.
Yeah, it's all right. We got a good name on it, so we should do well.
Have you checked it out at all?
Oh yeah, I'm bringing up my screenshot right now. I think it may have you never know with these things. When a coin launches, you never know where the floor is. So if you like it, buy the dips and see what happens. Yeah, it's had a nice I think it did break that downtrend. So sideways would be great if it could stabilize around this level between a bunch of zeros and a 1 and a bunch of zeros and a 2. That'd be great to accumulate for a while and actually use the staking function and kind of figure out how it works. I know a lot of people were that like Hex. You don't want to commit. A lot of people messed up their Hex ladders because they just didn't really know how to really play it. So yeah, I can see a little slow play of this Texan. Doesn't look bad actually.
Yeah, I know. I kind of saw this as a second chance to get my ladder right. I had no clue what I was doing when I started making my hex ladder. At first, it started off with birthdays. Then I was like, I'd like it to be like a monthly paycheck. then I was like, okay, no, I can't make that many. So then I was like, okay, as long as it's yearly. So yeah, my ladder is all over the place. There's no consistency whatsoever.
Yeah, man. I when I initially, and I don't like I pull my chart up, but I don't like the way this is pulling up. We may have some more downside possibly, but I made my ladder in the aspect of where crypto will be in 5 years, and that's what I think you got to do with crypto. I think all of this stuff will be, more valuable in the future. So just to be around and getting anything right now is, way ahead of the game. And so, yeah, I made my ladder like, okay, each one of these, if they're $1, how much money would I have? I think a lot of people had that, kind of mindset, if this thing could go to $1. So, yeah, I think time horizon is the biggest way to win. If you believe in a project, if you think it'll still be here 10 years from now, then, slowly, don't FOMO, but get to a position and, yeah, hold on to them because it don't feel good when something pumping, you sold it all.
Yeah, I think we've all learned that lesson a time or two. Don't sell it all.
Right.
Always keep that little moon bag.
Yeah. Get a little moon bag. Yeah. But so that's what I was looking at. It's got a higher low here. Can we move? Can y'all move for me? So you said the sells all the way down, found the floor. They say never catch a falling knife. So we don't know if this is they call it a dead cat bounce, but it wasn't, it's a nice bounce, but it's finding some stability here. So let's move that demand zone down a little bit. So it wouldn't be horrible if it can kind of bounce around in here for a while. The longer sideways, the higher up it goes when it does go up. So, yeah, if it can hold this and not go down more, that would be awesome. It can go up, it can go down, it can go sideways. That's the analysis.
Great advice. So, I mean, I guess if I'm advising, I guess I'll pull that down. And I guess advising is not the best word, being that like beginning of everyone's stream is like, this is not financial advice. But if a friend is coming to me for the first time and like, hey, I'm interested in crypto, like you have to have like that long-term mentality. right? Just like you look at your 401k or like retirement investing, you should come into crypto with that same type of mind frame. So to me, you still are best off coming in the Hex first, right? Because it has a proven track record, like 100% uptime. But looking at staking out at least 5 years or more, because the T-share rate has went up a lot.
I was looking at that 25K.
Like a lot. So even with the price where it is, it's still not easy to grab a T-share. And we are going to get to a time where T-shares, for a new person is like impossible to get.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible advice. This is what I told Tyrick. I said, when you first get into crypto, take $100 bill and set it on fire. You're gonna lose some money. So that'll get you comfortable in how this thing might go. But I think the big boys, things that survive will win. If a thing can come back and have another run in the next bull run, then in the long run, everything ends up on another floor, a level higher the next 4 years. So if you can look past a 2-year time frame, then you do pretty good in crypto. All you do is just buy, hold, and wait. Buy, hold, wait.
Yeah.
And throw a sell in there somewhere. Or two.
Or two. Yeah. So what else going on? Anything else going on? Anything you want to talk about?
Well, I had to, we could show the weather, in California, it never rains. So the last few weeks, all this, did I show you? I got it up.
No.
The last,
are we really looking at the weather? You're such
we got to give you the crypto weather, look up. This is all the rain we've been looking at. So now the East Coast got it. And, we're lucky, but it may turn into snow for them. So hopefully you guys are indoors and safe. Yeah, that's the Pineapple Express. They be talking about, saying all that winter rain we get. But we clear now, though. You know what I'm saying? Right on time. Dallas may be next. But yeah, that's the weather update.
When the weather is going to be great?
Florida?
Close. The Bahamas, April.
Look at there. No rain, baby. Good to go.
KC weather charting. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's all we got, man. Just cooling. Got a couple.
Well, I guess we
should projects we working on. So that's
we shouldn't let a stream go by without talking about our first little baby here, ABCrypto. It is a terms and definitions book. I guess I can open up a page so you can just see the type of content that's in there.
Cute.
My husband wrote the book. Me and my daughter, we put together the illustrations. If you know that me and him been almost 16 years, right? Like over 15 years in education. Thank you. Appreciate that. We've always, since the day my oldest daughter was born, we have always been the primary educators in her life and in all of our kids' life. We do believe in a non-traditional, I would say, like kind of homeschool, but because we were working for the church, it was a private school, right? So we've always taken a major role in our kids' life. And so as we begin to, I know, right, Paulie? That would have been great. ABCrypto. Look at this guy. He's a thinker.
Come on payroll.
Yeah, we thought that we needed tools. Like we started teaching our kids crypto. They've been in crypto probably the last 2 years, but recently, over the last 6 months, my husband's been working on a fiction book series for kids. And just as we were working on that project, I was realizing how much I hadn't taught my daughter. Like we had taught her how to put in her C words, how to access her wallet, and all these things, but there's just terminology that you hear commonly when you're in the like Twitter space, like when you're in a Twitter community or some kind of social media space, common phrases that she wasn't familiar with. And I'm like, if she could be this much into crypto, come to workshops and all that, and still not have an understanding of these terms, then that's a need, right? So we kind of set out to make our own curriculum, and I found it really, really helpful to have, as I explained. It's definitely, to me, a tool that you use with them. You don't just hand them the book and say, you know, go at it. But it's like, as you're teaching your child crypto, this is a good book for you to go through with them and be like, do you understand this concept, this concept, this concept? So
yeah, I think it's a good book. Most parents need the book. Like I would love a lot of my own boards to thumb through it and check it out, because you know it does kind of give you a sense to make it not sound like a foreign language so much. Like it is, you know, not a foreign concept. You know, we all deal with money. You know how it works, but sometimes the words, it can just feel so intimidating to where you don't feel like you belong. You know, so yeah, if she can get it, anybody can get it.
Mm-hmm. He says, Timothy Harris in the chat says, after a year and a half, I finally found an investment like a 401k, IRA, and that was HEX. Now I accumulate until I get enough HEX to stake at one t-shirt per year for 10 years. And I think that's a great plan. That's what I tell a lot of my friends, that they should set a goal on, right? To at least have one t-shirt every year until you can reach that 5555. But to me, I mean, I hear what you're saying about to 10 years, but I would not underestimate the difference between a 10-year stake and a 15-year stake. The very fact that the bonus doesn't change, you know, I hear that, but just imagine what the t-share rate is going to be 10 years from now, right? And so you're going to be, when those stakes started ending, and you're like, I could still be benefiting for at least another 5 years off of this t-share, and now I'm letting it go. You're going to wish that you had done, you know, some 15 years. And, you know, if you get the ladder all the way going, as soon as that first one ends, and you can just throw it to the end of the ladder, and then it's just perpetual forever, and then you're always benefiting off of that max length.
Yeah, that's why I love the design of Hex, you know, because it's like it's proof of weak hands, or you know, it's a truth engine, you know, because like 6 or maybe even a year ago, you know, you could think what will make a person in stake, you know, but like you say, time, pressure bust pipes. So people get to the points where they have to make a decision, and you know, I just think people are underestimating how valuable these T-shares and this Hex will be. You know, when it gets to a point to where, like you said, the liquidity is small. If you look on the dexes, there's no Hex left on these dexes. You know,
No
so
on the dicks. Is that
all the
the new
Hexes
song?
leaving the dex. And so, for real, I mean, like you said, 10 years from now, when there, in my estimation, I was thinking there would be a point to where people are waiting for people to end stakes, so there will be Hex available. You know, just think if you want to buy Hex and you just can't because there's none available, there's no liquidity. You know, so yeah, now's the time to really take advantage, because you know, once these, and when you talk about the gas prices to buy stake, to swap, like you don't want to be trying to do all of that, you know, when ETH is $2,000 or $3,000.
Post chain will save us.
Post win, post sir.
Win poster. How many times have we said that in the last 2 years? You know, there was a time where I actually thought that post chain was going to drop like right after the sacrifice. Remember? Because we had been, I think people forget how long we were talking about post chain before the sacrifice actually came, you know? And then we sacrificed, and then that's when everybody just went crazy, like, it's coming, it's coming. But
It's over,
you know.
it's over. Thanks.
We want it highly secure. We want 100% uptime, and you know, software is hard, so we just gotta wait.
Yeah, man. I wish I had more. All of that, yeah. Great job. Hope you guys putting the finishing touches on it, shine it up.
Make it pretty. Yeah. So we are, as KSB, we are looking at potentially doing some workshop events between, not now, but like February and the cruise. Looking at some stops back in Texas, possibly Arizona, maybe like a little mini Southern tour, just some of the Southern states between California and Florida, leading up to the cruise. So if you have interest in helping us, create these in-person workshop events, I just feel like now is the time that we should really be engaging our family and friends in crypto. It's not when the price is $1 and everybody is wearing Louis Vuitton glasses and scarves, right? That's when they don't want to hear from us. That's when they're like, oh, you done already got rich and you want me to be your exit liquidity. You know what I mean? No, it's right now when we feel like we are near the bottom, at the bottom, going sideways. This is the time where we really need to be increasing our efforts to teach people what this can be for them long term, right? And then that way you don't ever have to have those awkward family holidays like Christmas where you got them in at the top or before the sacrifice, and now they're just like looking at you with the side eye like, you told me this was good, why is it still going down? So yeah, over the next few months we're looking to do some possible in-person workshop events. If you have access to venues or just interest in being a part of this, then just hit me up, send me a message. Look, Matt gets it. So this is the time to onboard if you want your onboard happy.
Yep.
Absolutely. Because I'm telling you, man, I got some ones that are really happy because I was really, really adamant about HEX leading up to the big payday. Like it just made sense, right? And then after big payday, we got more involved with the HEX community, making music, going Kryptosparbuch, and I continued all while we were on tour. Every city that I went to that I knew somebody, I'm hitting them up like, hey, you got to come to this workshop. So I definitely have some onboards at 20 cents, 30 cents. Nobody at 50 cents. I can honestly say I told people not to buy. Like, no, don't do it. But all up and through there, and then on the way down, at least 3 times the bottom was called. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What
I
else you
made
got?
$4 no cap.
It's all cap. Yeah, Paula, we go on tour, we get it back to 55 cents. That's just what needs to happen. So that's pretty much it. If there's nothing else going on in the chat room, that's our spiel for today. You guys, be open-minded. Let's give Ava a shot, see what his stream is about. Don't just immediately press the unfollow, unsubscribe. You guys know Ava. You know his heart. You know that he is a hex maximalist, right? He's gonna have as much hex as he possibly can. So let's just see what his stream is about today before we lynch him. And I shouldn't say that. YouTube yank this stream down.
Oh man.
So sorry, YouTube. That's not what I meant. I just meant
She said lunch. Oh.
I just meant let's give our boy a shot, right? Let's just it. So that's pretty much it for me. You got anything else before I throw this ender message up?
No, thanks for the chat, you guys. Thanks for being here with us. And yeah, let's do it again.
Hexcruise.com, KSB.TV, Amazon, search ABCrypto. We love and appreciate all you guys. Until next time.